There are two basic types of ravioli these days. There are the traditional Italian type, in which the pasta is supposed to have some bite to it. This is the way that Italians enjoy and understand pasta, because traditionally it is all about the pasta and not the filling. Then there's the more recent innovation of delicate, gossamer-like, ultra-thin ravioli that have much less flavor and texture and emphasize the filling much more than they do the pasta. The second type is more difficult to make. It's far more prone to tearing, but the process is identical. I'm giving you professional and perfected recipes for both types here. So I've got 2 whole eggs, and I'm adding an egg yolk to this as well, so make it just a little bit richer. And I've got a tablespoon of olive oil. And I'm going to whisk this together first before we're going to add it to the food processor. Just over 200 grams of flour in there, about 210 grams. Add eggs to it. I'm going to pulse it. Okay. Now you've got this sticky material. It's almost ready. Notice I'm not using any water in this dough. This is entirely eggs. Okay. This is a good consistency. Now I'm going to take it out of this and knead it by hand a little bit. Okay, just a little bit to make sure that it comes together. This is fine. Now I'm going to wrap this up in plastic and refrigerate it for a little. Okay, now we're ready for the pasta machine, right? No. I know you've seen on shows like Iron Chef America, where they have to make dishes in 60 minutes, that the chefs don't let the dough hydrate, they don't go through the kneading process, and yet somehow, miraculously, they still turn out beautiful, translucent, thin ravioli. How is that? Because those shows are reality shows, which oddly enough has nothing to do with reality. If you try to just use the dough the way it is right now and run it through the machine, you'll get thick, chewy, gummy pasta. It will not be very pleasant. Yeah, it's edible. It won't poison you, but it will not be the beautiful kind of pasta that you want and that you see. You have to go through this ugly process of kneading it for about 10 minutes, like it or not. And you knead, and you knead, and you knead. And when you're done, you need some more. And finally, after 10 minutes by the clock, we have a very elastic, homogeneous dough that we're ready to put in the machine. Except this is too much to work with at a time, so if you're a novice, I suggest cutting this dough into quarters so that you don't ruin it as you're trying to make the pasta. Now, I'm going to start running it through, as I'm sure you've seen before. I salute you, Nanas. I do not know how you can make paper-thin ravioli with a rolling pin without tearing them. But I know it can be done. Use a pasta machine. You'll save yourself a lot of anguish. Okay. Notice I ran it through a few times on the first setting. Okay. After you've done this, you're going to fold it in half. You're going to remember you're going to try to keep these edges even too, and then you're going to feed it back through again. I'm still on the first setting on the pasta machine. One more time. Okay, now I'm finally going to move to the second setting. Once again, folding it in half. Now I'm turning it at a 90-degree angle and feeding it through. And you repeat this process. Just repeat the process. Turn it put it a couple times through on each setting at least a couple times, even after you kneaded it for 10 minutes. You still want to do that. You want to get it as smooth as you possibly can. And this is one of the shapes you frequently encounter as you're rolling it. You've got a straight edge and you've got a crooked edge. And in case you couldn't figure this out, just fold it over like this and run it through again. And if it's crooked on the other end, you're going to fold it that way, but this will straighten. And as you get down close to the end, it gets quite long. But you want to, for this kind of ravioli, you want to go to the last setting on your pasta machine. Whatever the thinnest you can make it is, that's the one you're going to use. And eventually you get to the point where you've got it all. Now you're going to fold it over and you kind of estimate using the cutter you're going to have how many of these things are you going to get. I'm going to say I'm going to get about 5 of these across. So now I'm going to take the filling and start mounding it evenly using the cutter as a spacer to see where the filling is going to be. Thusly, here's where this one's going to be, there's where the next one's going to be. I'm going to put the filling right there. I'm going to space the next one, use the next filling. Also, don't use too much filling. Classic mistake that other people make is they put way too much filling. This is a pasta dish. It is about the pasta. I know people want to put tons of filling in. Don't do that. Okay, now what we need to do is seal these. So I'm just going to use plain water. I know a lot of people suggest using an egg wash in here. That will also make your pasta tough. The egg dries, and of course, what's thicker, egg or water? Of course, egg is thicker. So you use egg, you're going to get thicker, gummier pasta. This recipe for the pasta is just fine. You will not need egg to seal it. It's got plenty of egg in it. Okay, and you look for where the first one is so you don't screw it up. And then gently lay it down. Try not to have creases in it. And you're going to have to start squeezing it down a little bit like this. But then you're going to cut them and you're going to fix the rest of it by hand. So this is fun. Now you take the cutter, you take like this. Now you've got a piece you can work with. You can squeeze all the air out of it. And that's what you do, just repeat it across the line. Another secret that's not often mentioned is that simply removing the air is not enough. You want to keep squeezing. You want to keep squeezing. You want to make this pasta that's on the edge very thin with the filling in the middle. This is one of the tricks to how you get this amazing, large, beautiful ravioli. Just a little filling in the center. You got to work it with your fingers. That's right. It's not going to be done by a machine. You want good looking ravioli, it's going to take some work. You can stretch it a little bit. This dough is very malleable, especially after it was kneaded for 10 minutes. And how much work you put into it, each one is up to you. But this is what you want to end up with. Not the thing that you initially rolled out and cut. This is what we started with. This is what we ended up with. See the difference? Something else to consider is that you always cook ravioli in simmering water, not rapidly boiling water like just about every stinking recipe on the web tells you to do. Rapidly boiling water will destroy your ravioli if it's freshly made. Next restaurant trick. Do not try to store ravioli that have not been cooked at all. They will tear apart, they'll be a mess. What you do is you cook them for about 1 minute, then you put them into an ice bath. Then, after they cool off, you put some oil on them, and then you can save them in a tray and cook them a second time when you need an order. But if you try to store them while they have never been cooked, they will crack, they'll break, they'll be bleeders when you try to use them. Toss them with a little bit of butter after they finish cooking. A little bit of sage in there. Use fresh sage if you have it. They won't break up. Also look for my cocktail book, Cocktails of the South Pacific and Beyond, Advanced Mixology, available through Amazon online.